Welcome back to BNG Hockey, where it's always black and gold. For the Bruins' first move of the offseason, they signed defenseman Jakub Zboril to a new contract. Let's talk about it. The team signed Zboril to a 2-year deal with a cap hit of $1.1375 million per season. He's a 25-year-old 6'1" left-shot defenseman, originally selected in the first round, 13th overall in the 2015 NHL entry draft. Zboril played in 10 games for the Bruins last season with 0 goals, 3 assists for a total of 3 points, and was a +1. He unfortunately missed the rest of the season after those games with a torn ACL. He's surprisingly already played in 54 NHL games, which seems like quite a bit for the few spurts he's been up to the NHL. He has 0 goals in those 54 games, but he does have 12 assists for a total of 12 points and is a career +1. This will be a very interesting offseason for the Boston Bruins. They have a couple of big decisions to make when it comes to signings, and I think they need to shake things up a little bit. So getting a guy like Zboril signed at a good cap hit, at a position I think you are weakest at, was a very important thing for Don Sweeney to get out of the way nice and early so he has some cost certainty and can figure out what he can move from that position going forward. I do think the Bruins move one of either Matt Grzelcyk or Mike Reilly just to get a little bit more cap space, and I don't feel like Bruce Cassidy and the organization as a whole has loved what they've seen from these players in recent games. I mean, Matt Grzelcyk getting scratched in some pretty big playoff games was a telling sign that the Bruins were getting very frustrated with this player, who at one point in time I thought was a big part of their young core. He's a player I've always liked. I think maybe if you play him a bit too much or he gets exposed in certain matchups, that can definitely be frustrating. But in an offseason where the Bruins are going to need some cap space if they really want to bring back some of their key guys, like a Patrice Bergeron if he decides to play again, or even some of their depth guys like a Curtis Lazar, or if they want to shake things up, they're going to need money to do that, and moving guys like Mike Reilly and Matt Grzelcyk for cheaper guys might be the way to go. I do think the Bruins will probably keep one of Grzelcyk or Reilly. You still have Hampus Lindholm, and you still have Derek Forbort there on the left side. And after Forbort's playoff performance, I do think he'll be sticking around, but he could potentially be one of the guys moved for cap space as well. And regardless of what happens with any of those players, I want to see Zboril get a real shot at making this year's team. The way he was playing last year before he got injured was pretty impressive, and I know we're kind of sick of hearing that he's still getting better. Give him a chance. He's never going to be Thomas Chabot, but we saw actual on-ice improvement from this player last season, and that was encouraging to see. And he's still only 25 years old, so I want to see the Bruins give some of their younger guys chances. I hate when Bruce calls these guys up, sends them right back down after they played pretty well at the NHL level. We've seen that recently with guys like Marc McLaughlin, Studnicka, and Oskar Steen. They come up, they don't look out of place, but they send them down and never call them back up anyway. And I think a guy like Zboril should definitely be given a big shot. You have a lot invested in this player, and he can still be a very good top 6 NHL defenseman. And I think with the way your D-core looks right now, he's kind of on par with the level of talent. So if the Bruins are going to upgrade this D-core, it could either come from Zboril himself. Maybe they could still use him in a package in a trade if they wanted to. This is a very movable contract, but I like the cap hit. I like that he's still getting better, and I'd still like to see him get a shot with the Bruins in a full season. So let me know your thoughts on this deal. Do you still think Zboril can bring something to the Bruins organization? Do you think this means that he's going to be packaged in a trade? Do you think other guys will be traded? And what do you want to see the Bruins do next for their next offseason move? Leave all that down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big like, and if you haven't already, subscribe.